Coming up in today's video, JCB gets struck by lightning. Jessie B says shiny blue horse.
Shiny blue horse.
Slack Lizard tries out a new catchphrase.
They're relatively simple.
And I get brutally murdered. Which can only mean one thing. It's time for another episode of Truly Bedrock. Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, FoxyNoTail, here on the Truly Bedrock Survival server. Today, Slack and I make some serious improvements to the Guardian farm, and we both take part in a Team 2 Abba caving competition run by the scoreboard. However, before we get to that, let's look at all the things I've been doing since the last video, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing at all, except for spending an entire day wasting my time in a creative copy of the world, fiddling with Trident killers, trying to come up with a better design for the Guardian farm.
You lose.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we look at what's coming later in the video, something really strange happened to me while I was just sort of hanging around at home. I was doing a little bit of AFK, sorting out a few sugar boxes, organising my inventory, and then all of a sudden...
You two, please make your way to the scoreboard.
Well, that was weird. Suddenly, I felt incredibly compelled to go over to an area in the world not far from spawn that's referred to as the scoreboard.
Did
anyone just notice that thing?
I just work
message.
here, man.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was you. I guess. I don't know at this point.
So why
I
are
assume
we
this
here?
is the scoreboard. It said the scoreboard the other day when I looked at it.
Yeah,
So,
this is what we found at Bruno's party. It was called the scoreboard, so I assume.
Yeah,
Maybe
Look.
we read the book.
it didn't tell us anything last time. Oh,
The scoreboard. Teams, you must go Abba caving. Meet together at your respective teams over at the Abba caving gate. Rules: mine for 30 minutes. Take the average total score between all players in the team. Score shall be presented here in 1 week. The winning team will be rewarded. Don't die.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
I don't. Maybe we shouldn't, fiddle with anything. It's all good. I think I maybe should go home. Don't you think?
why do we need to do what it says? What? I mean, who even is the scoreboard?
You dare question me?
Okay.
Maybe we should do what it said.
So,
I
so
think
Abba
I'm
caving.
going caving. I'm going to do
Yeah.
Abba caving
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So, with all of the strange things going on in the last episode and now all of these weird things, I think it was definitely a good idea for us to go caving. But in order to do that, we needed to know the rules.
Okay, the rules are over here. They're relatively simple. No ocean mining, no strip mining. Use only the armor provided. Yeah, that's
Oh,
real
hang on a
simple.
minute. I didn't read that. I've never done Abba caving before. I have no idea how it works.
Okay, all right. Go
So
ahead,
you have to
Foxy.
use silk touch. You don't ocean mine. There's no strip mining. You have
Yep.
to use armor provided.
Yep.
Why?
You even the playing field for like the armor thing and stuff like that. You don't strip mine because the point is caving, not strip mining.
Right.
And what was
Do
the
you
other
start
thing?
the timer when you found a cave, or do you have to find a cave as part of
Yeah.
the 30 minutes?
No.
No.
We go outside the world border. We find a cave. We start the timer. We go. There's a group.
Okay. So once I've gotten my head around this incredibly complicated rule set, we headed off to find a place to actually start our Abba caving, which would obviously be outside of the world border. And we found a place which had a nice big ravine, and we were ready to go. But then, just as we were about to start, Jessie B's anger got the better of her, and she brutally murdered me.
Okay, ready.
Okay, so we found a spot. Are we ready to go?
Ah! No, I'm not ready. I think I'll just hang up down here on this hill for a moment and think about jumping down. Wow. 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 That's just where I wanted to be, back at home, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's a good start. So I grabbed a few spare bits and bobs, headed back over there, and without any murder this time, we started again. Is it safe?
Yep.
Can I go in the other ravine, actually? The one when Jessie B isn't?
Do you want to push me in? Get
No.
even.
No. I just want to
Well,
go
there's water
caving.
below.
And do as I'm told from the scoreboard before we all die. And then we stopped again, because it turned out the ravine we were in was completely useless.
Oh, wait,
So
we
are you
get
not
quite
allowed to,
anything.
like, bury through
Coal-
walls to try and find
no.
caves? Do you have to...
No.
Okay.
Does that class as strip mining, does it?
That
Yeah.
class is strip mining, yep.
Jeez. Well, this was the most stupid ravine we could come to then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yep.
this
I
was a
think
bad
we
one.
might have to go switch to the other one.
Can we start again?
Yeah.
So, off to a not very good start, we went the other side of the hill to another ravine, which just happened to lead to a big cave network and a quite sizable mine shaft, which worked out very well for 3 of us. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go!
Go.
I'm going straight down this cave. Oh, that's a dead end. Wow.
Everything's
Come on.
Ah! Whoa! Oh. Aha! Skeleton, thank you very much for guarding that piece of iron for me. I shall take it. I'll relieve you of your duties. I'm feeling rich right now. I've got so much stuff. You guys would be well impressed. It would be better if you could use fortune. You get loads more.
You want it to be not a chance thing. Like, obviously, people have different fortune luck.
So what you're saying, it's a skill-based game. That it's 100% reliant on RNG of the caves and luck.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you wouldn't want to have any luck involved in your score at the end of the day, would you?
No.
By using fortune
No.
in this luck-based, randomly generated luck-based game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Thanks.
Understand it. Oh, Lava, you stay there, mate. You just stay there. Don't even think about coming in this hole with me. My hole. I don't know. Ow! Another creeper just went off in your bum. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Do we get points for any other non-ores, or is it all ores?
Yeah. It's all
Ores.
boys.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
Not coal.
Just ores.
Okay.
No donkeys or mules. Just ores.
Just ores.
Just ores. Yeah. I got blue ores. I got red ones.
Seriously?
Yellow ones. Orange ones.
Yellow.
I got lots of ores.
Ooh, shiny blue ores.
Shiny black eye, not any. It just sounds like a horse to me now. Shiny blue horse. Oh no, I'm in a cobweb, guys. This is not good news. Slack, how many have you got?
42.
And that's emeralds, right?
No, 42 sacks of iron.
Stacks of iron. That's
Right.
why you've always got so much iron. Slack's magic fortune silk touch pickaxe. It mines 1 iron ore and gets 17 in his inventory.
Hey, I didn't tell you about that, did I?
You got magic ores.
Isn't that a unicorn?
Come and have a look at my amazing magic horse.
Done with you all. I'm taking Jesse's phrase.
Yep.
I'm done.
Done with you.
So at this point, things were going very well. We were all having a good time. We were finding plenty of ores, but it did slowly become apparent there was a flaw in our plan. You see, sending 4 people down the same ravine and in the same cave network would mean that eventually you're going to run out of ores. Now I'm at a dead end. Oh, this is bad news, guys. Oh, and all of the gravel in the world has blocked me in. Man, there's so many. And why are you guys so good at being everywhere else? There's just torches everywhere I go. I'm in a cobweb again and I've got no sword and I'm falling through it. Oh, I'm going to be here for a week. Oh, what about flowing water? Will that get rid of the cobweb? It did. Ha! I need to strip mine because there's nowhere left to go and I'm stuck and I'm just going around in circles.
No, don't go in a circle. Go back.
We're gonna have a really interesting score with all of us in one place.
Do you know, I haven't seen many. Maybe it's because these are all lush caves, but I haven't seen many like lapis or diamonds or like valuable blocks, you know? We're stuck down here, JC. There's nothing left for us up here. Literally going around in circles again.
Yeah.
We left the mine shaft and there's just everything still in the mine shaft.
Oh, come back to the mine shaft. There's all of this ore.
I mean, I have
Don't think there is.
continually found stuff.
Well, you know, some people are lucky. Some people have FoxyNoTail. So I'm just... Well, I'm finding so much ore, guys, in this area that we've all completely covered already.
Really?
No.
See, you do have bad luck because like I said, nonstop. There's
I
stuff
haven't found
everywhere.
any since you said about the mine shaft. Needless to say, both our time and the number of ores were running out. I was going round in circles, getting nothing, and starting to worry that I was bringing the team's average score down every second I wasn't finding anything. Regardless, we pushed on relentlessly, scraping up anything that we could potentially find that was going to give us a score before the timer finally ran out. At that point, we all headed back to the Abba Caving headquarters to calculate what we'd got.
Oh God, Foxy! Oh my God!
What?
Happened.
What? What, is that not much?
No.
Oh, what about if I add all this in as well then? Would this help? It's a bit more.
Yes.
It's still not much though. It's
It
really
helps
not
a
much.
little bit.
I want to work out my individual score just to see how bad I brought the team down. I'm just saying. Now I know that Slack and Jessie B both got a lot more than I did, but unfortunately I can't tell you exactly how much or what our team score is because the other teams haven't actually done their caving yet. So that's going to have to wait for another video. We will all be meeting back at the scoreboard in a week's time to find out exactly who won and who will be getting all of these ores as the grand prize. For now though, we just needed to do something with the ores that we'd collected.
So we need to, I guess, stash this somewhere until everybody's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
I don't
thinking,
know how
Slack.
we're
I will
doing.
take that. I'll go put it
No,
somewhere safe.
no,
Yeah,
that's my
not
shulker
a
box.
problem. No, it's not.
My...
And stash it somewhere safe, I did, which means that our Abba Caving expedition is now over. And on that note, it's time to get on with the rest of the video. So, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I had spent an entire day in a creative copy of the world fiddling with Trident killers. My aim was to take the very bulky and not particularly quick design that we created in the previous video and make it more efficient, use less redstone components, make it more reliable, and take up less space as well so that we could fit more of them in and it didn't look so horrible. And I did an awful lot of work. I started with one design and I minimized it, and then I changed it to a one wide piston design. I tried all sorts of designs that had water inside the Trident killer so that you could use the impaling enchantment on the Tridents to kill the Guardians quicker. I did all sorts, and after hours and hours of testing and waiting and building and changing and tweaking, I decided that the idea that we already had was just about as good as we were going to get. And there's several reasons for that. Reason number one is that if you use a Trident killer that has water in it, the XP and the items will float, which makes getting them out very difficult. Now you can use a glitch topper minecart to get the items out, but then the XP stays inside the system, which tends to cause a lot of lag. Now this isn't server lag, it is client-side lag, but it is lag nonetheless, so we really want a system that allows the XP to be burned away. Problem number two is that other types of Trident killers often involve the Trident getting stuck in a block or glitching out and not working anymore, which means you then end up with a buildup of Guardians and the Guardians not dying. Another problem is Guardians just getting spat out the side of the Trident killer for no reason that I could fathom. But the main problem I had was observers, although I didn't know it yet. So after a lot of testing, I then went back to Truly Bedrock to put in the better design that we already had, which basically meant destroying all of the Trident killers we'd already made to put new ones in. Part of the way through doing that, Slack came along and we decided to work together on making the entire system a lot better.
What's the plan then? Because I see you rearranging all these Trident killers.
Okay, so what I would like to achieve today, if I could achieve anything at all, is I'd like to put in more Trident killers, but that can come later. The other thing I would like to do is I would like to link up the Guardian farm to the not the storage area, but the farm area that I've been creating down below where my sugarcane farm is, and have the drops go all down there and get sorted out. Have an on-off switch at the top up there, ideally finish off the glass so that we can put the slabs around that one and it doesn't look all ugly with torches. And that should probably just about do it, I think.
And it should be relatively easy to pipe all the drops down from the Trident killers.
Yeah, well, I've been making it so that the drops all uniformly coming out the same point of each farm, so it should be easy to link together. I've been sort of having that in mind while I've been rebuilding all of these Trident killers.
Big brain, no tail today. Big brain, no tail.
Trying very hard to be big brain, no tail today. I mean, at the end of the day, I've spent the entire day redesigning a Trident killer to be exactly the same as we already had it. So, you know, you call that big brain, I call that, well, it's a bit different.
It's a bit different. Okay, I can live with a bit different. Okay.
It's mildly different from what it was. But it does seem to have made a big difference. So.
Okay, well, I brought a little bit of sand over here, so I'm going to take it up top here and put it by the AFK box to, you know, get us a little bit of glass going. Okay?
Okay. Well, while you've just done that, I have literally just finished the last Trident killer. We're all in now. Every single one. Good news! And also bad news, because later that day I had to change all of the Trident killers again. However, before we get to that, I wanted to show Slack something that I found really weird off camera about a zombie that had spawned in an impossible place. Are you ready to see where impossible drowned was? Zombie, sorry, when I logged in.
I'm looking.
So I was at the top where you are, okay? And there was a zombie. A zombie, not a drowned.
A zombie, not a drowned. Okay.
On fire. Yep. Here. On this torch. Here. Where did it come from?
Nope.
The zombies can't swim. They don't spawn underwater.
Nope.
They don't spawn with pots above their head.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So where did it come from?
Nope.
Told you this season, Slack, since 1.17, mobs been spawning where they shouldn't be. And you're like, oh no, it's light levels. No, that's not light levels. That's on a torch.
I'm not. No.
I'm not saying that 1.17 is broken, Slack. But 1.17 is broken, Slack.
But you just said that it's not.
But it is. As usual with our world's best Guardian farm, zombie spawning wasn't the only problem we were having. Is that Guardian in the Trident killer, or is it just bouncing around below it?
He looks like he is bouncing around below it, yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good. How did you sneak out of there, you little scallywag?
Yeah, definitely bouncing down below it, Foxy.
How did you do that? Why do these things keep happening? We decided the best thing to do at this point was to ignore the magic zombies and the magic guardians and just to crack on with digging out a large area underground to put in a storage system for the guardian farm and get as much stuff as we could finished off. Of course, at this point we got completely and utterly distracted. Slack, there's some serious issues with this game, bud. Optimization's all out the window. Notice, well, you can't see my screen, but I'm getting a solid 120 frames per second. I actually thought I was capped at 120 because this happens after I've been playing in game a little while. I'm going to relog.
Yep.
Bearing in mind we're in a single player version of the Truly Bedrock world, a creative copy of it. When I log back in, I expect my frames to be around about 250, which they are. 250 frames per second now. That's a big increase, right? Now, interestingly, when we make it rain, they'll drop back down to around about 140. So I lose nearly 100 frames per second just from rain.
Yep.
Now pair that, let's get rid of the rain for a second, and turn around and face the laggiest signboard in the world.
I don't want to turn around. Do I have to turn around?
All of these signs are glow signs. Now my frames per second have gone down to 33. You can feel it. When I spin round and look that way, back up to 250. So it's when you're facing towards them, but you don't actually have to see them. We come behind this, I'm still down at 27 frames per second. Now let's pair this with some rain. Doesn't actually change all that much. I'm down to 25, 26. What are you on at the minute, Slack?
10.
10. So now we've got this going on, and the rain. Last time I did this, when I cleared the rain and went back over to this one, I was capped again at 120, but this time I'm not. It has gone back up to 260, so I don't know if it's the amount of time we're in game when it suddenly decides it's going to cap me. And these bugs weren't the only bugs distracting Slack and I from continuing our work. Speaking of which, have you noticed how all of the Trident killers have stopped again? When I came back, bear in mind I didn't log out, I was AFK. When I came back, they were all part 2 had stopped.
I'm totally confused on that one then. I have no clue. What is it with you and bugs, man? What is it with you and bugs?
I don't know.
Can you stop being so buggy?
I haven't stopped any of these.
I think you did.
Yeah, they've all stopped. Notice the lever is in the on-off position, so they should all be working. I did notice something interesting with Redstone, though. Shall I see if I can demonstrate it? I don't know if I can demonstrate it. I'll try.
Okay.
I can't 100% remember how I did it, but I'll try and explain it. It's like that, okay? And the corners would have been solid. And these bits in between technically had water in from stairs, but for now they can be solid. And then above them, we had, next to these, we had observers like this. So basically the Trident Killer design I came up with when I was working on the fancy new Trident Killer designs. Then all I did was I made a clock over here, and I had that go like that, okay? And I had that one go like that. So we basically had a Trident Killer, which is all kinds of... I've done this clock wrong, but it doesn't matter. You get the point. And then I put a lever on it to stop it. And I put a lever on this piston here. Because what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to stop the farm working. Bear in mind there was the staircase here, there, which was pushing water into this block. So guardians could spawn. So what I did was I put a lever on there so that I could push the piston out, get rid of the water, stop the guardians spawning. Okay? Then I undo the lever, pushing that back again, and turn the clock on, and that piston wouldn't fire anymore. I had to remove the lever completely to get it to fire. It's like it had remembered that should have been off. I've put a lever on every single one of those systems on the on the piston to lock them off. Even though I've turned that lever off, for some reason, the farm, all of those Trident Killers have stopped. Now, this is exactly the same design Trident Killers we've used everywhere else, like the Fortress Farm, places like that. I've never had them just shut themselves off. So I'm thinking that lever is somehow getting a random update to the block to say, hey, that, don't fire that block.
Well, here's another question I must ask. Have you messed with any of those other farms since 1.17.10?
No. So long story short, the redstone on our new Trident Killers was buggy and we needed a workaround to make it work. Now the explanation you've just seen, whilst true, isn't the whole picture. The main problem we've got with our Trident Killers is that the observers often forget that they've had an update, which breaks the observer clock that they're running on. And because there's no other way to trigger them back on again, they just stop. So what we need is a system that has a more reliable clock that keeps the Trident Killers running even after a disconnect or when the area's been uploaded. Something that doesn't rely on observers. But also something small and compact that doesn't mean rebuilding or redesigning the entire things and that will fit with the existing system we've got. However, before I started doing even more Trident Killer design work, Slack and I continued to work on the area. We made the underground area nice and pretty, putting in some walkways and platforms for our storage area, and we then looked at putting in some dropper systems for each of the individual Trident Killers to get the items down holes all the way to the underground, where Slack then put in ice paths to move the items into a storage system. I even then put in a water elevator that took you all the way to the top where the AFK point is, and with the drop chute all the way back down to the storage area. There we go. I will survive. Oh, I did. No damage. Nice. So with pretty much everything else out of the way, the question now was, what do we do about these Trident Killers? What are we going to do about these Trident Killers that just keep turning themselves off? Helpful. My concern is once they're going and we're AFK, they're just going to keep stopping like they did last time.
You're having bad luck with Trident Killers. I'm just saying.
I am.
I've not had one break on me yet. But this farm, even if the Tridents do quit, it's not like we're going to create a bad entity lag problem all of a sudden. Because,
no, it's just a waste of going AFK.
Waste of AFK. But your other Trident Killer didn't die, did it?
I'm not putting them all back in with the other ones again. But you're right. The repeater-based one that didn't rely on observers didn't die. The ones with observers keep dying. Oh, jeez. I now need to reinvent the wheel. I need a Trident killer that takes up this amount of space, that uses this system that has a mechanism in it. Mechanism? Nearly said that word. To make the Tridents actually work. There we go. Perfect. That should work absolutely fine. And that one means that the observers cannot give up. They still use observers, but the clock will keep them engaged. It takes up hardly any more space. The problem is, can I fit it in where we've got it now that we've got droppers there? I don't know if we can. Ah, okay. Well, that was fun. How?
Yeah, you fell through the glass.
Huh. Well, I'd say conveniently exactly where I needed to be. But, And the answer was no. It didn't fit. Time for plan B, which just happened to be even worse than plan A. Right, all I need to do now, Slack, is completely undo everything I've just done again. And just by simply flipping the observers up the other way round and looking upwards, we wouldn't get in the way of the dropper system. Genius. How did I think that was going to work? There's no way it can... Oh my... Ah! I shouldn't have to waste all of this time because Bedrock Edition can't remember that the observer's seen something. Something just happened and the observer... what? Did it? Oh. Alright. No, I don't think so. Don't think so. Many, many, many more time was spent in a creative test world trying some pretty much crazy out there ideas to try and get observers to update when they'd forgotten that they should have updated. Eventually, after a very long time, I came up with a compromise that was stable and not too giant, that would fit almost inside the system we already had. 1 block, Slack. 1 block.
Are you having 1 block issues up there?
Yeah, I am not moving the entire bubble column 1 block. I refuse. Unless you can make redstone... Oh, actually, there might be a solution. There might be a solution. The other ones will be all fine because they don't have this issue of the bubble column getting in the way. This one, however, if I make that a solid block instead of glass, and I put a repeater going into there, and then I make that one a block, right? And then I break this, and water's going to pour in, but it's fine. I put... Oh, it won't because there's a gap there. I put a repeater there and a... Actually, if there's no water there, we don't need that solid block. I can't break that one because there's bubble columns next to that, so that one will let water in. But that should work. I did it!
It's working. Good job!
Yay! I didn't have to move the bubble elevator. This is good news. Just got to do that another 4 times. But now that's a much more reliable Trident killer. And truly what a much more reliable Trident killer that has been. I've now been AFK at that farm since I made this video for many hours and not had 1 Trident killer glitch, lose a guardian or stop, which is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, back to the video. While I upgraded the rest of the Trident killers to this latest design, Slack was busy downstairs working on the storage system. Right, so what I've done...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you have done?
I have put item frames on. I've also put a barrel down here next to this crafting table so you can put your sea lanterns in there while you're crafting them up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well,
we've been here a while. Everything's gone well so far. I haven't seen anything glitch out. The Tridents are all behaving perfectly. None of them have magically jumped back into my inventory. The Guardians are still spawning and dying. The only thing that could go wrong now is the problem with your sorting system, potentially.
Don't you put that kind of evil on me. Don't you put that kind of evil on me.
But
it's not gonna break. It's not gonna break at all. We come around here. There's nothing going on with lights. There's nothing going on with fish.
There's nothing in it. There's items coming down. I think it's safe to say it's keeping up.
Well, that's good news then.
That is good news. That means that 100% this system is now working perfectly.
Wow. It only took us all day.
If only someone hadn't built this stupid water elevator right in the way, we could actually fit this whole thing inside this chunk.
I'm
Apart
not
from
ripping
that-
it back down. I'm not ripping it back down. Not today.
No,
I might
I'm not
in a
doing
day or
anything
two.
today. That's it. I'm
No,
done.
no,
We've got more crystals. We've got more prismarine shards. We've got some guardian heads. We've got a whole bunch of sea lanterns we've already crafted. We've done a good job.
Yep. Good job, Foxy.
Now we just need
Good
to go
job.
and build something really fancy so I can do a time lapse. What should we build? Are we doing another shop? You got time? I've got 15 minutes. Time lapses are fast, right? Wow. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Guess I'll go do it myself.